Hey guys, Drew here, quick video blog. It's been a while since I did my last video, and that's because I had a lot going on, and I still do. So last time I gave a video, I explained that I was moving, right? Sorry, there's some bugs here. But last time I, gave a video, I explained that I was moving into a new house, and I had a lot going on, and we're finally settled into our new house. We closed on this house in April. It's over $1 million. It's a nice house. We had family over. We enjoy it. It's wonderful. It's God's blessing. Additionally, I bought a new car, BMW M8 Grand Coupe, 600 horsepower. Love that thing. That thing flies when you're on the road. It's amazing, and it sounds like a little beast. So there's a lot going on, and I came back from a wedding that I went to in Jamaica, then went to a wedding in Massachusetts. So we've just been all over the map lately. Like, we've just been doing a lot of stuff, me and my fiance. So now we're settled in, and now I'm back to normal, and now I can give a video blog because my business is lined up, everything is lined up, and I'm not as busy. I'm still busy, but not as busy as I was before. So, blessings on blessings. I just wanted to talk today. I usually use my channel to talk about politics, and I wanted to talk today about, the current climate of politics, only because it has to do with economics. I'm not really into, this little tit for tat politics and, telling people what they should believe and ridiculing them because they don't believe it and whatnot. I don't care about that anymore because it's just pointless at this time, and I feel like if you're one of those people that constantly talks about politics, you're not involved in politics, you're not running for office, you're not, you're not running for office, you don't have an organization, you don't raise money, like, you're just kind of wasting your time, and you're just advertising to people how insignificant and how much you lack effectiveness at getting things done, because all you're doing is complaining. So that's why I've just kind of like decided to stray away from politics in that regard and move away from that. So what I move towards now instead what I talk about now is I talk about economics, because that's what I'm gifted at. I'm gifted at business management of economics, management of finances, and that's my area. That's what I want to talk about. So one of the main reasons why I didn't want Joe Biden to win was because I knew that he would destroy the economy. And after the economy went through issues because of COVID, I knew that he would only make it worse. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's kind of shaping up to be the next Jimmy Carter. If you look at all the inflation going on, you see the prices of things going up, you see the prices of materials going up, of assets going up. You see, like, my home, the value of my home is increasing. The value of cryptocurrency is increasing. The value of physical assets is going up because the value of dollars is going down. So for those of you who don't own assets, if you don't own a home, if you don't own cryptocurrency, if you don't own stocks, if you don't own gold, if you don't own silver, oil, or business or something that's an asset that can go up, you're going to be suffering from Joe Biden's policies. And a lot of the people who voted for Joe Biden and who supported Joe Biden are people who do not own assets. They were triggered by some of the things that Trump said. They were triggered by some of the things that he was doing and saying, and as a result, they voted against their own interest. And they don't know it because they don't have the education to understand what they did. But now they're living through the results, and now they're going to blame it on Trump, and they're going to support Biden because Biden is just pretty much, just what they want to hear. He says what they want to hear. He behaves the way they want him to behave, and they emotionally line up with him, so they support him. But at the end of the day, economically, he's destroying the country. He's putting you guys in a position where, think about it. Every single time you guys get a stimulus check, every single time you guys get a handout from the government and they print trillions of dollars to do it, they devalue the currency. So what that means is that if you receive $1,400, your next $1,400 is not going to be worth as much as the last one that you received. Okay, let me repeat that. If you receive $1,400 from a $1 trillion stimulus plan check, whatever it is, when they print all that money, the first $1,400 that they give you is worth more than the second $1,400 that they give you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's called inflation. There's a lot of people who, would talk about Trump constantly and his handling of the economy, And they thought they sounded so smart. And they backed all these ideas like universal basic income. Well, stimulus checks, all these Andrew Yang supporters that were previously on my on my channel talking a whole bunch of mess would talk about this universal basic income because a lot of them are broke and a lot of them want a handout. That's the real reason why they support this thing. But let's pretend that they're supporting it for humanitarian reasons like they always pretend to, right? Some of them would pretend that it was for the greater good. But obviously, you could see in, UBI version, UVI beta, which is really what stimulus checks are. Stimulus checks are UBI beta. You can see that it's not enough. Number one, the money that they give you is not enough. Number two, they've taxed you so much that the money that they're giving you back is a pittance. And not only is it a pittance, but the way that they're giving it back to you is robbing you. Inflation is another form of taxation. Okay, so they're not just pulling that money out of nowhere. They're pulling that money out of additional printed money. They're printing more money to give you that 1,400. And the crazy thing is that in that $1 trillion stimulus plan, like, it's not just about the money that they're giving you. If you look at what they pack in there, they pack in a whole bunch of things. So you guys get the smallest part of the pie, and you pay the biggest cost to get that smallest part of the pie. Sorry, I thought that was a deer out there. There's deer out here in this place. This is not a long way from the city. It's about 40 minutes from New York City, but there's deer out here. But anyway, like I was saying, it helps to understand economics because when you look at things, instead of just looking at individual people and just blaming people and saying, oh, people are racist and people are evil, that may be true. Some people are. Some people are evil. Some people are racist. Some people are ignorant. Some people are stupid and whatnot. But economics allows you to look at things as a system, okay? This is why when I talk to you guys about politics and I tell you guys who I'm supporting, I tell you that I'm not supporting a guy because he's my buddy. I'm not supporting a guy because he's friendly to me. I'm not supporting a guy because he says things I like to hear. I'm supporting a guy because he has the best economic policy, or because he has the best foreign policy approach, or because that's why I put my support behind a candidate. I don't put my support behind a candidate because they say nice things or they make me feel good inside. No, I put my support behind a candidate that makes the most economic sense. And I'm not just talking about the most financial sense for me. I'm talking about the most economic sense for the country. Like, regardless, like, just because I'm a businessman and I do pretty well financially doesn't mean that what benefits me economically can't benefit you if you're not in my tax bracket. It doesn't mean that. What benefits me can also benefit you. It doesn't have to be this zero-sum thing, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer, not because of the government. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer because rich people, like myself, I was once poor. Keep that in mind, okay? Before you classify me as somebody who was always rich, I was once poor, okay? Rich people, we understand economics. We understand finance. We understand things. So, case in point, this inflation that's going on, what are poor people doing? Some poor people have wisened up and they've started investing in cryptocurrency. That's amazing. I love that because some of you have done that. Some of you are no longer going to be poor. You're going to switch because you're following the moves of the rich. You're making moves that they make. So you're investing. And a lot of these moves of the rich are really moves of King Solomon and moves of Proverbs. It's all in the Bible. But I'm just saying the rich because a lot of you guys can't relate to the Bible. And when I talk about the Bible, you think I'm getting religious. You think I'm getting all kinds of crazy. But a lot of these concepts are already in the Bible. If you stand still when there's a wave of inflation, you're going to get hurt. Even if you park your money in the bank where you think it's safe, that money is losing value. Each unit of that money is losing value. So if you move your money into assets in a high inflationary period, you will make money because the value of your assets are going to increase. The value of my home is going to increase, with the exception of probably depreciating assets. But even they may see a slight increase. Like I have depreciating assets in my garage. We have 3 cars, right? Those are those lose value. Those are not the kinds of things that you buy as an investment, But especially like the luxury cars that I own. But in general, I'm just saying that those things pretty much lose value. But if you invest in assets that gain, if you invest in a house, you invest in property, you invest in gold, you invest in all these things will rise as the dollar loses its value. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be shifting. The problem is that most poor people don't do that. A lot of poor people, I'm not talking about the temporary poor, I'm talking about the perpetual poor. A lot of poor people stay at the same job for multiple years. They don't invest their money because they're scared. They just leave it in the bank. And that used to be the a good thing to do. And if our government cared about people, they would make it such that putting your money in the bank was actually safe. And they wouldn't push you into a high inflationary period where only the people who are savvy enough to be able to navigate that kind of economy thrive. They wouldn't push you into that if they actually wanted the best for you. See, I know that the government doesn't want the best for you because they push you into that. And any politician that pushes you into that does not want the best for you. You know, they say that Donald Trump was helping the rich. Donald Trump was helping everybody who owned an American dollar. Not just the rich. Donald Trump was helping everybody with his policies. Joe Biden now is helping exclusively rich people. He's helping exclusively people who are in my bracket. Because if you don't own assets, which most poor people don't, if you don't own gold, if you don't own a home, if you don't own businesses, you are losing in this economy, and you will continue to lose for as long as he's in office. You will continue to lose. And then he's going to give you things to focus on, to blame things on, because he knows that that's what you guys do anyway. He knows that that's what you guys are prone to. He's going to give you things to blame things on instead of telling you how to correct things, because they don't deal in that. They depend heavily on your ignorance to keep engaging in their theft and their illegal behaviors and their behaviors that steal right from under you. They're depending on your ignorance. So if you're watching my video, wisen up, get smart. I'm not saying to follow me just because I sound good or I say things that you want to hear. Look it up yourself. Learn about economics. Get close to God. Learn about your purpose. Learn about finance. All these things will help you navigate this world to a greater degree, which is very difficult without these things, especially without God. Like, God is number one for me. But some of y'all are not religious, and some of you have not gotten that close to God yet. I recommend getting close to God first and foremost, so that you don't get in trouble on your way up to financial success and economic freedom, because you can get in trouble, because you can get a little too ambitious, you can get a little too smart and put yourself in trouble. God will prevent you from doing that. But I'm just simply saying that learning these things and adjusting to these things is more productive and 100 times better than engaging in cancel culture, division, all this nonsense that you see on Twitter, all this political BS. Follow the facts, follow the numbers, follow the spirit, and understand the numbers. Understand what's going on around you. That is key, and that is critical, and that is the message I really want to deliver from my channel. I don't only seek to inspire people, not from what I'm necessarily doing. I seek to inspire people to follow God, because I know that God will lead you guys in the right direction regardless. But I also seek to give you guys, who, if you don't follow God, at least give you guys some kind of awareness of your surroundings, because that will lead you to following God anyway, but give you some kind of awareness around what's going on around you, what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the environment, what's going on around you, and then, once you see that, you'll find it evident that God is very much so present, but anyway, that's all I got to say. I hope you found this video useful. Share it far and wide if you think somebody else will find it useful, and God bless and peace. I'm going to get to work. Later.